nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting Jewish literature, culture, and ideas, and the American Library Association Public Programming Office. The national tour of the exhibit was made possible by grants from Charles H. Revson Foundation, the Righteous Persons Foundation, the David Berg Foundation, and an anonymous donor, with additional support from Tablet Magazine, a new read on Jewish life. We are very grateful to all these people at the national level, but we also have local help to thank, since without them, especially in this time of scanty budgets and trimmed staffing, the program would not be possible without their generosity at many levels. Friends of the library, raise your hands. I know there are at least 2 of you here. 3, 4. Wow. We're particularly grateful to them for their endless support in many ways, but especially for hosting this evening. And the Friends here will be happy to talk to you about joining the Friends. They're an active organization, and let's see, Jenny Fisher, George Dawson are both here. I'm sure you'll be happy to talk to anyone who's interested. Then there's BB, also known as our director, Belvin, who is the one who initially sent out the request for somebody to take this over, and we did, didn't we? So we meaning Joy Crow-Logan, over there with a camera in front of her face, and Linda Crittenden, raise your hand, Linda, who is the one who made the food. It takes 3 of us to put a program on like this, and without good collaboration between the 3 of us, this would not have been possible. So we are thankful for each other, I'm sure. We have docents, too, some of whom are here today, and if you're interested in docenting, we have gaps we would like to cover in the exhibit hours. Joy is in charge of that, and she'll be happy to talk to you about what's required, and your name and things like that. There are other companion programs for the exhibit. There's small handouts around the room that look like this, so you'll have little reminders about what's happening when. The next one is the genealogy workshop on Monday, 9/19 at 7 p.m. And the genealogy workshop will be run by Jackie Oshman, who is the librarian who usually gets all the obits, genealogy, family history questions here. She's quite good at it. She'll introduce you to Ancestry.com and some of the other online resources. Also, Janet Reamer, who has 40 years of experience doing genealogies, she's very good. She has a fund of knowledge of all the places that are not online, and is a wonderful person to ask questions if you've ever been curious or wanted to get involved in that. We also have a poetry workshop Saturday, 9/24 at 2 p.m. And the question may be, why poetry for Sendak exhibit? Well, we have a huge group of people who are part of our annual poetry anthology, and they surface every spring, so there is an interest in it. But poetry is kind of a mission of mine, and having taught 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds literature, and having them ask, why are we studying this corny stuff? I feel that bringing poetry forward where it's appropriate is a good idea, but also D.J. Ward, like Sendak, had a less than idyllic childhood, and he addressed the issues of that less idyllic childhood through his art form, and in that way he parallels Sendak, and I think is a good comparison and a good experience for people who want to understand the poetic process. Let's see. The closing program is Patrick again. So he will continue to entertain us on October 11th at 7 p.m. right here. The exhibition will be open for viewing as posted on the bulletin board out there. In addition, as of Friday, you will have a computer in here so that you can listen to, view the Spike Jones documentary. And Kathy and Ann, two of our docents, have found it very, very enlightening and interesting. There will be a movie where the wild things are available if you'd like to watch that. And we hope to have on the desktop an assortment of articles and broadcasts accessible so that you can look at those as well. Now on to Patrick. You see his picture out there perhaps with a monster looking his head. I think it's an indication of what kind of personality we're going to deal with here. Linda and I went down to Philadelphia to sort of feel out whether he'd make a good speaker, because not all curators are good speakers. And we found him very engaging, and he invited us. What was the title of that wine and literary? Yes. Wine and literature called Besotted. So that was intriguing, but still it could have been a very dry drink. And it wasn't. It was very entertaining. So I'm sure that you're going to have a good time listening to what he has to say about Maurice Sendak. Joy will also hurt me if you don't sign in. It's very important for you to do that since numbers count. So there is a sign-up book there. If you come again, sign up again, please. So on to Patrick and the many worlds of Maurice Sendak.
Thank you. Before I start my spiel, which I hope will only take about 50 minutes or so, I just want to thank him and Linda and everybody for having me here. Thank you guys for coming out on a not so ideal day for this talk, for seeing the exhibition. We really appreciate it. And I know this library appreciates it, and we who worked on this show really do as well. You guys have been a lot of fun to work with, and the fact that you cooked all this food is like amazing. So yeah, thank you again for having me. I'm going to keep this talk relatively informal, and there's some images that I want to show you, some of which you'll find in the exhibit itself, and some of which I'm pulling from the Rosenbach's collection. And I'm also going to try and play some videos with Maurice Sendak that we recorded between 2007 and 2008 for a major retrospective that we did of his career. So those of you who have seen the Spike Jones documentary might hear some stories that are familiar to that one as well. I'll be happy to take questions afterwards too. I'd love to continue discussion about some of the things that you see in the exhibit or that this talk might bring up. And without further ado, I'll kind of get things started from there. As Kim mentioned, my name is Patrick Rodgers, and I work at the Rosenbach Museum and Library, which is, has anyone ever heard of the Rosenbach